The Bible is a book filled with incredible stories, stories that have been told and retold for centuries. These stories teach us about faith, miracles, and the power of divine guidance. They offer lessons about love, forgiveness, and courage. Most importantly, they remind us that we are not alone. A guiding hand is always with us. These stories are not just ancient history, they are timeless messages of hope and inspiration. They speak to the human heart in a way that transcends time and culture. Whether you're a lifelong believer or just curious, the stories of the Bible have something to offer everyone. In this essay we will explore some of the most well-known stories of the Bible. We will journey with Noah on his ark, witness the miracles of Jesus, and learn from the faith of Moses, Adam and Eve, and David. Through these stories we will discover the enduring power of faith and the importance of trusting in something bigger than ourselves. So, let us begin our journey into the heart of the Bible. One of the most influential figures in human history, Jesus Christ, lived a life filled with compassion, miracles, and profound teachings. Born in Bethlehem to Mary and Joseph, his birth was heralded by angels and prophesied long before. Jesus was known as the Messiah, the Son of God sent to redeem humanity. Throughout his ministry, Jesus performed countless miracles. He healed the sick, gave sight to the blind, and even raised the dead. His miracles were not mere displays of power, they were acts of love and compassion, demonstrating God's power over suffering and death. Jesus taught through parables, simple stories with deep spiritual meaning. He emphasized love, forgiveness, and compassion as the cornerstones of a righteous life. He challenged the hypocrisy of the religious leaders of his time and called upon people to live with humility and sincerity. Despite his message of love, Jesus faced opposition and was eventually betrayed by one of his disciples. He was crucified on a cross, a symbol of his sacrifice for humanity's sins. However, the story does not end there. 3 days later, he rose from the dead, demonstrating his divine nature and conquering death itself. His resurrection is a testament to the power of faith and the promise of eternal life. The Bible is filled with stories of ordinary people chosen by God to do extraordinary things. Noah was one such man. When God saw the wickedness of humanity, he instructed Noah to build an ark, a massive vessel to survive a catastrophic flood. Noah, a man of great faith, obeyed God's command, building the ark according to the precise instructions given to him. As the rains came, Noah, his family, and pairs of every animal sought refuge in the ark. The floodwaters rose, covering the earth for 40 days and nights. When the waters receded, Noah sent out a dove. The dove returned with an olive branch, a sign that life was returning to the earth. God then made a covenant with Noah, promising never to flood the earth again. The rainbow in the sky became a symbol of God's promise and a reminder of his faithfulness. Moses is another example of divine guidance in the Bible. Born into slavery in Egypt, Moses was chosen by God to lead the Israelites to freedom. He appeared before the Pharaoh, demanding the release of his people. When the Pharaoh refused, God sent 10 plagues upon Egypt, demonstrating his power and authority. Finally, the Pharaoh relented, and Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt in a daring escape. The parting of the Red Sea is one of the most iconic miracles in the Bible. As the Egyptian army pursued the Israelites, God parted the waters of the Red Sea, allowing them to cross on dry land. When the Egyptians followed, the waters crashed down upon them, drowning the Pharaoh's army. This miracle demonstrated God's power to save his people and his faithfulness to his promises. Moses continued to lead the Israelites for 40 years in the wilderness, where they received the 10 Commandments from God on Mount Sinai. These commandments became the foundation of their law and a moral code for generations to come. The story of Adam and Eve is the creation story of humanity. God created Adam and Eve and placed them in the Garden of Eden, a paradise where they lived in harmony with nature and with God. However, they were tempted by the serpent to eat from the forbidden tree of knowledge of good and evil. By disobeying God's command, Adam and Eve brought sin and death into the world. This story highlights the consequences of disobedience and the importance of choosing good over evil. It also reveals the nature of temptation and the struggle between right and wrong that exists within humanity. Despite their transgression, God showed compassion for Adam and Eve, promising them redemption through their descendants. The story of David and Goliath is a testament to the power of courage and faith. David, a young shepherd boy, faced the giant Goliath, a formidable warrior who had challenged the Israelites. while others trembled in fear. David stepped forward, armed only with a slingshot and his faith in God. David's victory over Goliath is a reminder that even the seemingly weakest among us can overcome great obstacles with faith and courage. David's story is an inspiration to face our fears and trust in God's power to help us overcome any challenge. These stories from the Bible offer timeless lessons about faith, courage, and the importance of trusting in God's plan. They remind us that even in the face of adversity, there is always hope. The characters in these stories, though flawed and human, demonstrate the transformative power of faith and the importance of striving to live a life guided by moral principles. As we navigate the complexities of life, may these stories serve as beacons of hope and inspiration, reminding us that we are never alone in our journey